This is a long-term review of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So how has the 15 Pro Max held up? To be honest, it's held up very well, especially that the first half of the time that I owned this, I did use a case on it. I've used multiple different cases. For example, the Pitaka carbon fiber case. This one is like the ultra thin one. I really love this because you really got the feeling of using the phone more closely as it is so thin. And it didn't add a lot of bulk to the device itself. So it was very nice to use. Definitely recommend it if you ever wanted to look for a case for your iPhone. But for the last year or so now, I've been using the phone without a case. I've definitely dropped it a couple times. It definitely shows a lot of scratching on the titanium band, which I've just dropped it onto either concrete or brick at the time. I also have a small crack on the back of the glass from dropping it. To be honest, I've dropped it over 5 times now onto concrete or brick, and it's held up very well for how many times I've abused this thing, to be honest. So all in all, I'm pretty happy about the build quality actually, but maybe I shouldn't have been so stupid and I should have kept a case on it for a long time. The screen has also held up pretty well, so I do have a couple of scratches in it now, but in the beginning I did used to use a lot of screen protectors. I've burned through 3 or 4 different screen protectors now just by dropping it, and it dropped on my chest. And I also had my necklace on at the time, so when it fell, it hit my necklace and it would break. They were quite weak screen protectors. It was one of the cheaper ones I could get, to be honest. But ever since I broke the 4th one, I just decided not to go with a screen protector either. So I just run this phone completely naked. It's felt good for that amount of time that I've used it naked. That's when I decided after a couple of drops that maybe it was just better to go with the case anyway. So I've actually got the case back on the phone just to protect it from more stupid drops that I might do in the future. So this is the Pitaka case that I was talking about, and this thing is perfect. This is what it looks like with the case on. So it's quite nice, sleek, and you can also get just a black version without the stripe. I just wanted to add a bit of color this time, so that's why I got this one. All in all, it's held up very well, and with the case on it now, it's just gonna last for a long time, so no problems with that at all. And especially that it's titanium. I'm very happy that it's titanium and not aluminium like the newest iPhones are. So I hope to keep it for a long time, and I hope with the next iPhone they won't have aluminium, even though it does look like it's gonna be aluminium, but we'll see. This iPhone was the first one to have USB-C, so it's amazing to use with the USB-C cable. Even though it's such a small detail, it makes such a big difference with charging, especially if you own a MacBook and iPad as well. It just makes it a lot easier to charge everything through one cable, and makes traveling a lot easier as well by carrying less cables, of course. The buttons still feel new, as if I got them out of the box, so nothing to really complain about them. The iPhone 15 Pro Max does support the newest iOS, so that's iOS 26. In the beginning, it was just a disaster when I downloaded it in September. The battery life just wouldn't last at all. I would use all the battery within 2.5 hours from 100%. It was really draining this thing quick, and it was getting very warm at the time. It's definitely improved quite a bit now. It's not as warm as it used to be. It sometimes does peak with the heat, but nowhere near as much as it did back then. But I did want to change the battery on this phone. Even though at the time I only had 90% degradation, I still felt like the phone could be a lot better. And when I did swap the battery, it did make a huge difference. I was back to 100%, and I didn't notice really a lot of speed difference or anything, but I just noticed that I can get through a day a lot easier now, getting 4 to 5 hours or so of battery life. It definitely helped to get the new battery installed, and it didn't cost too much. It was €100 to get the battery changed. So I prefer to get the battery changed than to actually buy a brand new phone at the time. So hopefully this will make it last a bit longer, now especially that I'm not looking for a new phone in the first place. So I hope it does last me a bit longer. I don't particularly like to ask, but could you please leave a comment, maybe even a like or a subscribe to really boost the videos a bit more so that I can keep making these videos in the future, and I would really appreciate it if you just consider it. What really impressed me when having the phone for the first time was just the different type of camera features that this thing had. So this was the first phone to support ProRes log footage, and it was great to use, especially when you can really transform the video footage from being a basic iPhone recording to something you can really personalize yourself. And it made a huge difference to the type of video quality you can see now, which really impressed me at the time and I still use to this day. It's great. Also, the cinematic mode at the time was really cool, especially not knowing so much about cameras and how ISO works or anything like that. This thing made it very cool just to see how much bokeh you get on your footage. But of course, this doesn't compare anything to a normal camera. You can definitely see on the edges of the bokeh that it's just not as sharp as a camera is. But this thing does do it pretty well for having it in a smartphone body. So I was very impressed at the time, and I'm still very impressed with the type of footage it can make. I would still definitely recommend to use a phone like this to start a YouTube channel, for example, or maybe even a TikTok channel if that's something you're more into. But the cameras are very good on this phone even today after 2 years' time. What was also new about this phone was the action button, which replaced the silence button at the time. This thing you could program to have whatever, well, Apple chooses that you could use it for. You could hold down the button and it will bring you to the camera app or start taking a picture. But to be honest, I don't really use that at all. I just use it for the silence button all the time because I've always liked the silence button anyway. Keeping your notifications from on or off has always been good enough for me, and I didn't really want to change that at all. And changing it to something else just didn't really benefit my day-to-day life. So having it just as a normal silence button has always been okay for me, and it didn't really feel like a difference switching to the action button from the silence switch in the first place. I have noticed one thing that kind of failed with this phone, and that's the speakers. It just sounds way more tinny than it used to. It sounds like it's blown out, just very high pitched and not really bassy as it used to be when I got it on day one. But maybe this could be fixed by just cleaning the speakers. I haven't really tried or anything, but the bottom speaker definitely just sounds really blown out. I'd love to see if I can try and revive that by cleaning it. I'm not 100% sure if that would work, but I'll definitely give it a try and I'll let you guys know in the future, because it's a shame that it just wasn't as good as when you got it. So overall, the phone has treated me very well and I'm very happy with this phone. I haven't had the feeling of needing to upgrade to the newer ones, especially not the 17 Pro Max, just because I prefer that titanium way more, and the look of this color is just, it's my most favorite color that I've had on an iPhone yet. I definitely want to keep this one as long as possible and not have an aluminium one, which is a lot less sturdy. We'll see how long this one will last, but with the new battery, it should definitely last me quite a bit more, and I can't wait to just keep using it, really. Thank you guys for watching this long-term review on the 15 Pro Max. If you guys enjoyed it, please go down, write a comment, and give it a like, and maybe even a subscribe if you really enjoy my content. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.